At this point, when you were creating these records, you were also producing them.
No, I wasn't producing at the time.
That came later.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay,
the
okay.
producer that me and Carl was working with is a producer named Ivan, or Orthodox, which is ironic because he's very unorthodox. But anyway, but I thought his beats was like really dope, you know, because it's the timing, you know, that he was always on. He's, you know, he come from, you know, that Spanish background, so you mix that with hip hop, you're gonna get some really interesting rhythms, you know, and it was really compatible with my inherent behind the beat singing thing. So you get the sloppy, you know, hi-hats, you know, on top of like the hard, you know, drums. 'Cause I'm really an MC in my head, but I didn't have the confidence to just do straight bars. So I needed the, you know, the
spice.
Yeah, well, it was more like a
camouflage.
Yeah, it was like a security blanket. I needed the melodies to make myself feel like it was good, you know, because I could finagle the melodies, but just straight bars, nah. I'm too exposed. I feel naked. Like nah, nah. Let me put some clothes on.
Right.
No, matter of fact, let me get dressed, super dressed, so I can like, you know.
So as you're making these songs, people are hearing them. Oh, phones just dropping
like,
this motherfucker.
These
Like,
new iPhones.
what is that, number 5? Like,
Retrograding.
Yeah.
so as you're making these songs, people are hearing them. What's the feedback you should get?
Not quite. It's like not playing really for like everybody. Like I played it for the homies, you know, and it was like, yo, this is crazy. I'm like, word? It's like, yeah. Like, yo, you should do something. Well, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not having no plan. I'm just recording. So this is like the first half of '99. I'm just recording. And actually, Love was produced by a different producer, actually. I think it was, what's his name? Andre Harris. I think it was Andre Harris. He came in, he played the keys, and then he left. We just had to loop that, you know, I think it was like 8 bars we had to loop. And we just, you know, because he was actually working on Jill's project, you know, Jill Scott.
Wow.
So, you know, him and his partner, Vidal, they were like a super team, and they was doing a lot of stuff with a lot of other people. I actually wanted to work with them because that's how everybody, you know, was making it seem in the studio, like those were the big producers or whatever.
Right.
But the ones I was working with were kind of like the underdogs. Like they would get the off hours time, you know, where everybody go home and they just, you know, yeah, just as long as you lock up, you know.
Right.
But we was being hella productive, you know. And it helped to like help me find myself because, you know, I wanted all the that I was going to make a point to the concept, well, not the concept, but the point that you made earlier about fair. Okay. So, and this is kind of running into that. So I'm coming from, you know, listening to Stevie Wonder and Donny Hathaway and Marvin Gaye and James Brown and Earth, Wind and Fire. And I'm listening to all this big production, big, you know, musical arrangements and stuff. So I'm like thinking, when I get on, I want to make my version of that, you know?
Right.
And plus, I didn't really feel like there was room for me in the game until like D'Angelo came out. When D'Angelo came out, I was like, so you're saying there's a chance? Okay, I might could do something with it. They let him in. Okay, there's got to be room for me, you know. And then Lauren came out.
6-pack at the time.
This is pre 6-pack.
Okay, pre 6-pack.
Yeah, but eventually, you know, because I didn't come out until after, you know, 6-pack D'Angelo.
Now this was a conversation we were having.
That's funny. He brought it up.
Yeah, this is a conversation that we were having. Did Lauren's success kind of really open up?
Because it sort of contributed to the idea of there being road, actual paved, you know, government funded road. You know, not no back street, like no, legit main road for what we was doing. And then Erica, it's like, bro, like, let's go, you know? We have arrived, you know, finally.
Right.
And then and I knew like Jill was on her way out, you know, to your point of the artist, whatever. Maxwell, he was already out and he was starting to get a little, you know, a little burn. Bilal was doing features, you know.
Kindred Spirit.
Yeah, Kindred the Family Soul was actually singing background on Love.
Yep.
Wow. Fun fact. Glenn Lewis came from Toronto.
Wow.
Floetry came from the UK. Everything was converging specifically in Philly. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Everything's lining up.
But I was thinking that this was crazy because it was dope that everybody was kind of sort of on the same time that everybody was on, you know? After one of the open mic let-outs, I ran into Anthony Hamilton, just, you know, random dude from Carolina. He was on a stage that night. And I was like, yo, you're dope. Like, what's your name? Like, what are you doing? He's like, man, you know, I'm just, you know, trying to figure it out, blah, blah, blah. My name's Anthony. I'm from Carolina. You know, just trying to, you know, get it. I was like, yo, man, like more power to you. I hope it works out. You know what I'm saying? So you got to imagine after, you know, a couple years removed, we both up now and we run into each other at the event and we're like, hey, yo. And it's like, nigga, we made it. It was cool. So he's definitely on. That's why doing the verses with him was like
amazing.
Yeah.
Like people don't know how far back we go. Like we go way back.
What I want to try to understand is like, I agree with you, man. All right, boom. All of this came in rapid succession after Lauren's success.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
I disagree.
No, you know why? Because here's the reason why. Hold on. The reason why I agree is because he said the success. The success part, the Grammy winning, the influence. Yeah. Like it was all over the place. It was inevitable.
No. I just want to make a distinction. It wasn't about all of that, what you just said. It was simply about the fact that she put out what she put out. That's what it was for me.
Okay.
It wasn't the response. It wasn't the accolades. It wasn't, you know, how she inspired other people. It wasn't even none of that.
Right.
Like that was dope too. And that did follow, to your point. That's
and
all
that,
facts.
And that I agree with that.
But
and
for
that's
me,
for you personally.
Yeah, for me personally,
right.
Yeah, I just wanted to like make that distinction. For me personally, it was the fact that she got off what she got off in real time.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like Lost Ones was everywhere.
Yeah, it was inevitable.
What?
She went diamond, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went diamond. She won 5 Grammys in one night.
Yep.
Damn.
Like
that's what
that
I'm
was
saying.
unheard of.
I get what you're saying as far as for you personally, but overall, it opened up the doorways, marketing wise, in the music business and everything, for all these other acts to follow, right? Because there was a span of time where you could not get away from neo soul music, right? You could not get away from it.
It was a wave. It was the wave at that point.
It was a crazy wave, right? But damn, now I forgot my point.
My bad,
Fuck.
bro.
No, it's not your fault. Sorry.
Lauryn Hill opening the door.
Yeah, now she opened the door. But so let's go pre-Lauryn Hill, right?
You're funny.
And what we were talking about was was Tribe Called Quest, right?
Strategist.
We were talking about
hilarious.
we were talking about Tribe Called Quest, the Jungle Brothers, De La Soul, right? And how they made it cool to
Native
be
tongues.
earthly, native tongues, right? To be earthly. So now this is my question. That's what it was.
Got it.
How come y'all never decided to try to like form a supergroup?
Okay, I need
compilation.
I need everybody to stop doing that, please.
What you mean?
Because everybody
We are all fans of all you guys.
Got you, but you guys always come at us with this kumbaya concept that we was all eating dinner together.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm alluding to.
No, it may not be what you're alluding to.
No, I'm not.
It's not, and I respect that, and I hear you, and I appreciate that. That's not what you were saying. But I'm responding this way because there is some variation of it, whether intentional or not, because it would have to be this thing where we have this relational, interaction with each other on a consistent basis where we could even get together like that.
Okay, so check this out. Going back again.
That's like saying,
look, going back pre-Lauryn Hill, right?
LeBron and so and so
native tongues
form a super group because they're all dope.
Yeah, but how is it different?
Because these are
so
groups. It's the same shit. No, hold on. It's the same shit when you have certain artists like Musiq Soulchild, Maxwell, whoever, feature on songs with other artists.
But you're
right?
talking,
That we not really
That
into.
sounds so amazing, bro.
Yeah,
I would love to live in that world.
That's not the reality. I get it.
So
That's
what
not
was the reality?
of it.
What was the reality?
The reality is everybody was doing their own thing. It just so happened that at certain times it was convenient where things aligned and it looked good.
Right.
And people who had, you know, the time and the adequate resources and the forethought to be premeditated with it, to orchestrate it, were willing to do it, but that was very sparse and far and few in between.
Were there artists that you wanted to work with that you didn't get a chance
I wanted to work and still want to work with everybody.
That you just
That's the
mentioned.
type of person that I am. I'm a fan of it.
Everybody ain't on that time.
Anybody that's doing it at a high level, like that shit is so amazing to me. Like what burns me up and what hurts me, like almost physically, like I get physically sick, is when I witness wasted potential. I hate that shit. I really do, because I'm such a fan of artists, you know, artistic expression.
Right.
You know, and people being another, you know, laying another brick in the house that we all get to live in creatively. You know, like we don't, none of it is ours.
Right.
We all paying rent on the same shit. So I like when people are able to contribute, be valid contributors to this whole big thing that we all trying to, in our own respective ways. So I want to work with anybody because it's not about the person. It's not about the artist. It's about what they're bringing to it and interacting with that.
Right.
You know, and seeing what I do and what you do come together and what does that make? You know, like I like that. I'm kind of like, you know, I like to do stuff for science. You know, I like to see what's the reaction when you put these two things together. You know, will it create a new thing? Like, I don't know.
Right.
What's the baby look like?
Yeah, you know?
I don't know, man.
These two ideas
I don't know,
coming
man.
together. Like, that's how I think. I don't think in profiles. I don't think in, you know, for
It's
the
a
culture.
look.
Like, I don't think about that. There is an inherent benefit that comes out of that, and that's dope. But for me, I'm just talking about me. That's not my focus. That's not where my intentions lie. My intentions are, what else can we do? Know how much we could do? What else can we do? What didn't get done before or yet? What is it that we don't know that's possible? You know, what other fly shit that we could come up with? You know, like I like that. Like that gets me excited. To the point where I just started creating crap on my own. Started coming up with different names and seeing what you do when you mix these two together. And like, oh, okay, that was okay. But this one over here is fire. Let me see if I can. Like, I like that.
Right.
But
the shit that I don't agree with is the level of control that the record labels have over artists, right? And stopping. No, hold on, let me finish. Stopping artists from being able to collab with other artists that they're fans
That's what I was
of.
about to interject. It's not solely that is a real thing. You know, that's what we're kind of like, you know, undercurrently kind of like talking about.
Right.
But that's not really it. It's everybody is not on that type of time. And that's why I refer to, it's interesting how people have this kumbaya-esque concept of us all getting together. Some folks are just not interested in that.
Yeah, but you understand why, right?
No, yeah.
The whole thing says soul food Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody's at the table.
Everybody ain't on that, and it doesn't make them
Better
messed
or
up
worse.
or bad or anything.
Right.
That's just they did whatever they did for whatever reasons that they did it for. You got some that would participate in that and that do see that and would contribute to that. But then you got others like, nah, fam, I did what I did and it's okay. Some of them are not even real team players like that. Some of them don't even know that they don't work well with others. Some find out in real time. Like, I thought this was going to be a good idea, but yeah, I'm done. Like, but we ain't finished. Like, what do you mean?
Did you experience that?
Yes, and I'm not going to talk about it.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow